Ever wish you could just, like, download the knowledge from someone's bookshelf?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like some sort of brain transfer.
Right. That's kind of what we're going for in this deep dive. You guys sent in so many book recommendations, all from this past year and from people in all walks of life. It's awesome.
It is a really interesting mix.
So we're going to try to pull out the good stuff, figure out why these books hit home with the people who recommended them,
Right.
and maybe even point you towards your next great read.
So it's like we're hanging out with a bunch of super well-read friends, and
Yeah.
they're telling us what they loved.
Exactly. And we've got a former first minister, some acclaimed authors, even royalty.
Wow.
And that's not even half of it. Comedians, tech innovators,
Right.
actors, athletes. It's a real mix of perspectives.
I'm excited to dig in.
Me too. So let's start with A Place of Greater Safety by Hilary Mantel.
Okay.
Nicholas Sturgeon recommended this one.
Interesting choice. You know, given her background in politics, you have to wonder what draws her to Mantel's work on the French Revolution.
Right, like how does that connect?
Exactly. She specifically mentioned how detailed Mantel's portrayal of that whole period is, focusing on the personal and political struggles of key players like Robespierre, Danton, and Mimolin.
Oh yeah, those names are coming back to me now from history class.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what kind of parallels she might be drawing to being a leader today.
I know it's not just like, oh, this is what happened back then.
Right.
It's more about the people, the motivations,
look
the
at
whole crazy mess of how politics works. And Mantel just has a way of bringing the past to life.
Oh, she's a master of that.
Yeah. And Sturgeon really seemed to appreciate that, how she shows these massive historical forces playing out in individual lives.
That's where it gets interesting, right?
Yes, exactly. So if you're someone who wants to actually grasp the French Revolution, not just the dates and battles, but the why behind it all,
The how and why.
this one sounds like a really solid choice.
Definitely. Mantel does her research, but she's also a fantastic storyteller. So you get that depth, but it's not dry and boring.
No, not at all.
It's alive.
Okay, now let's jump from 18th century France to present-day Tokyo. Palaver by Brian Washington.
All right, I haven't heard of this one.
And what's cool about this one is that the recommendation came from Washington himself.
Oh, really? So he's talking about his own book.
Yes, he's got a new novel coming out.
Cool.
And it sounds pretty fascinating. It's set in Tokyo, follows this English tutor who's kind of estranged from his family back in Texas.
Okay, so that theme of being away from home already.
Yeah, and finding your place. And from what Washington said, it sounds like he's exploring belonging, how we create communities and connect with people in these massive, sometimes impersonal cities.
Yeah, like starting over in a new place.
Yeah. Like, do you ever feel drawn to those stories of people trying to navigate a new culture, a new life?
Absolutely, especially when it's done well, and Washington is really known for writing characters that feel real.
Yeah, he does.
So this could be a really deep dive into what it means to find your place, especially when you're juggling different cultures and your own personal history.
Okay. Next up, a recommendation straight from Her Majesty the Queen's Reading Room, The Ghost Ship by Kate Moss.
Wow.
This is the third book in her Juber family chronicles.
Oh, okay, so part of a series.
Yeah, and this one takes us back to 1621.
Okay, so historical fiction again, but a different vibe, maybe.
You got it, because we're talking about a female pirate on the Barbary Coast.
Now that is something I didn't expect from the Queen's Reading Room.
I know, right? It definitely shakes things up a bit.
It does. So we've got courage, resilience, going against the grain.
Yeah. Makes you wonder what kind of reader the Queen is, right?
Definitely. It makes you think she appreciates stories about strong women who don't always follow the rules.
Totally. And maybe she's into those less well-known periods of history.
That could be it, too.
Yeah, so this one could be a real adventure with a side of history you might not be familiar with. I mean, have you ever been surprised by, like, the unexpected roles that women played throughout history?
All the time. And the Barbary Coast in that time period was a melting pot, full of different cultures and conflicts.
Oh, wow.
So it's the perfect setting for a story about a woman making her own way in a dangerous world.
Okay, ready for something completely different.
Always.
J.M. Norton, he recommended John Boyne's The Echo Chamber on Twitter. Called it a fearless romp with big laughs.
Okay, so contemporary and funny.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty sharp turn from what we've been talking about.
For sure. And it's a satire about social media, focused on this family, the Cleverleys.
The Cleverleys, that's a good name.
It is. It makes you think about how we're all connected online, but also so disconnected sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
And all the craziness that comes with it.
The craziness, the drama.
Yeah, it makes sense that Norton would love this. He's all about the funny and the outrageous.
Fearless romp, big laughs. I feel like Boyne's probably holding a mirror up to our digital lives,
Yeah, using humor to point out all the ridiculous stuff we do.
Exactly. So if you're someone who can appreciate a good laugh at the absurdity of the internet, this one might be right up your alley. Have you ever had those moments where you just step back and think, wow, the internet is wild?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time.
And the best satire is the kind that makes you laugh, but also makes you think about some serious stuff.
Exactly.
Like, what are we doing online?
Yeah, what are we doing? Okay, let's go from the internet to the entire history of humankind.
Ambitious.
I know, right? Bill Gates recommended Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari.
Okay, a classic. And it's interesting that it's still so relevant and popular.
Right.
It's not just a fad. Gates talked about how insightful it is, how it traces the entire evolution of Homo sapiens. Like, how did we get to be the dominant species on this planet?
Right. And it does all of that in a way that's still accessible.
Yeah, not just for academics.
Not at all.
I think that's why it appeals to so many different people. It's that big picture thinking.
Yeah, and it's thought-provoking, right?
Totally. It makes you question everything.
Like, how did we get here?
What does it even mean to be human?
Yeah. And where are we going next?
Big questions.
Huge questions. Okay, Reese Witherspoon selected The Women by Kristen Hanna for her book club.
Oh, I've heard good things about that one.
She was really impressed with how it portrays women's experiences during the Vietnam War.
Powerful topic.
Powerful and not often talked about from this perspective. It focuses on the women who served in the Army Nurse Corps.
Yep, the ones who are right there on the front lines.
Exactly. And the main character, Frankie McGrath, she goes through so much. It's about courage, resilience.
And the strength of those female friendships.
Yes. So important, especially in times of hardship. And, Reese's Book Club, they're great at finding those stories that often get overlooked.
Yeah.
And this one, it's going to be heartbreaking, but I think also uplifting in the end. It's like, we need to hear these stories to understand the full impact of war.
We do. And not just the big battles and political decisions, but what it meant for the individuals who lived through it.
Exactly.
Okay, what do we have next?
Jenna Bush Hager, she picked None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell for her book club. Called it gripping and suspenseful.
Ooh, a thriller.
Yeah, if you're looking for a page-turner.
Right, one you can't put down.
This could be the one. It's about this woman who gets caught up with a new acquaintance.
Sounds familiar.
I know, right? And then things get really weird.
Of course they do.
And Lisa Jewell, she's known for those intricate plots full of twists and turns.
Yeah, she's a master of suspense.
Yeah, and this one sounds like it delves into obsession, deception.
Those are good thriller themes.
Right, that feeling of something being off but you can't quite put your finger on it. Have you ever read a thriller where the twist just blew your mind?
Oh, yeah, I love those. And Jewel writes characters that you actually care about,
Yeah.
so when they're in danger, it really gets to you.
Okay. Switching gears again, Bob Baffert, a horse racing legend.
Oh, yeah, I know the name.
He recommended Lexington, The Extraordinary Life and Turbulent Times of America's Legendary Racehorse by Kim Wickens.
Okay, so a horse racing book. That's pretty niche.
It is, but Baffert talked about how it's not just about horse racing. It uses Lexington's story to talk about American history and culture.
Oh, interesting, like how one horse's life can reflect bigger changes in society.
Yeah, and Baffert was really impressed with the level of detail, like he was learning new things about this time period, not just about the horse.
Huh. I never thought about it that way.
So even if you don't follow horse racing, this could be a fun way to learn about a piece of American history, like the social scene back then, the values.
Like a window into another time.
Exactly. Have you ever been surprised by, randomly getting interested in a topic you ever thought you would?
Oh, yeah, all the time. You start reading about one thing and it leads you down this whole rabbit hole of new information.
It's so true. And sometimes those unexpected stories are the ones that teach you the most.
I agree. I bet this book touches on competition, legacy, the changing face of America.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It's all connected.
Okay, Emma Watson recommended Sally Rooney's Intermezzo.
Oh, Rooney. He always gets people talking.
She does. And Emma Watson, she pointed out how insightful this book is, especially when it comes to modern relationships.
Okay, so very much about the now.
Yeah. And Rooney, she's known for capturing the nuances of relationships.
All the messiness and complexity.
Yeah, and this one, it's about two artists navigating love, loss, societal expectations.
The whole package.
Yeah, and I think Emma Watson is drawn to those stories that really delve into the characters' inner lives.
And Rooney does that so well.
Right?
Like she gets those subtle power dynamics between people, all those things that are left unsaid.
Yes. It's all about what's going on beneath the surface.
It's powerful.
Okay. Lena Dunham recommended All Fours by Miranda July.
Oh, Miranda July.
She praised it for its inventive narrative, the emotional depth.
I feel like July always surprises me with her storytelling. It's always so unique.
It is. All Fours. It's about this semi-famous artist who just suddenly takes off on a cross-country road trip.
Wow, spontaneous.
Right. And it leads to a lot of self-discovery, unexpected turns.
So it's a journey both literally and figuratively.
Exactly. And from what Dunham said, it sounds like July is really pushing the boundaries of traditional storytelling.
Yeah, I love that about her.
Yeah. So this one, it's for those who like those stories that reflect the messiness of real life, you know?
The unexpected detours.
Right. Like sometimes we don't know where we're going, but that's where the magic happens. Have you ever been like completely blown away by a piece of art that just throws all the rules out the window?
For sure. It's refreshing. Like it wakes you up.
Yes.
And July does that. She blurs the lines between reality and fiction.
Yeah.
Makes you question everything.
Okay. Last but not least,
Okay, hit me.
we have a recommendation from V.E. Schwab.
Oh, I love their books.
They recommended An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson,
Intriguing title.
right? And it's got that whole dark academia vibe.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So picture this prestigious, kind of isolated academy where they teach students how to lie.
Okay, so deception is the name of the game?
Yeah. And Schwab, they were really drawn to the suspense, how the book messes with your ideas of truth and morality.
Ooh, that's good.
Right? And that setting, it sounds so atmospheric. I mean, have you ever been fascinated by those stories where good and bad get all mixed up?
Oh, yeah. Because in real life, it's rarely black and white.
Exactly. This one sounds like it dives into the gray areas, the dark side of human nature.
Yeah, how far are you willing to go to get what you want?
Exactly. Okay. Time for a bonus round.
Bring it on.
We actually have a few more recommendations that we wanted to squeeze in.
Okay, let's do it.
So Taika Waititi, you know the director.
Yeah, of course.
He's a big fan of the graphic novel series Saga.
Oh, that's a popular one.
It is. And he was talking about how inventive the storytelling is, and the artwork, he said, is just stunning.
Makes sense, given his own visual style.
Right. It's a mix of science fiction and fantasy. And at its core, it's about this family trying to survive in the middle of an intergalactic war.
Oh, wow, high stakes.
I know, right?
And universal themes, too, love, loss, conflict.
It's amazing how graphic novels can create these immersive worlds. Have you ever been surprised by how deeply they can affect you?
Totally. I think the combination of words and pictures, it just hits you on another level, and Saga is known for that. It's like a visual feast.
Yeah. Okay, another quick one. Stephen Fry recommended 18, A History of Britain in 18 Young Lives.
Okay, I've never heard of that one. What's it about?
So it's by Alice Loxton, and he basically uses the lives of 18 young people throughout British history to tell the story of it in itself.
Oh, that's a clever idea.
Right. And Stephen Fry, he loved how fresh and engaging it is. Like, it makes history feel more human, less about dates, and more about people.
I like that. It brings history to life.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a new way to learn about history, this one could be a great option.
Definitely, it makes you think about how individual lives are all woven into the bigger story.
Exactly. And last one, I promise. Billie Jean King, she recommended The Rapid, On Tour with Tennis's Golden Generation and the Other 99%.
Okay, tennis, so that's got to be about the pros.
It is. It's by Connor Nyland, and it's his first-hand account of life on the pro tennis tour.
Okay, so not just the big names, everyone else too.
Exactly. And Billie Jean King, she highlighted how insightful it is, how it shows the reality for most players. You know, the hard work, the struggles, the dedication.
It's easy to forget all that when you just see the highlights.
Yeah. So even if you just casually follow tennis, this one could be a really interesting look behind the curtain.
Like, what does it really take to make it as a professional athlete?
Yeah. And what does it look like when you don't become a superstar?
Right, the other side of the story.
So, wow.
That was a lot.
I know, we covered a lot of ground. From history to satire to science fiction.
And everything in between?
It's clear that these people, they value so many different kinds of stories.
And that's inspiring, right?
It is. Like, maybe we should all be a bit more open to exploring different genres, different authors.
Definitely. I mean, that's how you discover new perspectives, expand your horizons.
Exactly. So as you're listening to all these recommendations, think about which ones really sparked your curiosity.
What caught your attention?
What made you want to learn more? And maybe even look into the other works by these authors.
Yeah, see what else they've written.
Because it's all about keeping that love of reading alive, right?
Absolutely, and finding those unexpected gems.
The gems, that's what it's all about.